I told you people that unless federation will end the crisis in southern Cameroon, I am having somebody supporting me. That is Kabera Libi. He came out recently and said that only federalism will resolve Anglophone crisis. And then he is calling for a fresh dialogue without precondition. Without precondition. If you don't know Kabera Libi is the leader of a party, PCRN, that is Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation. He won the case against Robert Ekona recently, and then he is now the leader of that party. And he will be running for the upcoming presidential election 2025. He was the third in position during the 2018 presidential election after Maurice Kamto was him. And presently now Maurice Kamto is gradually going out of the game, but he is negotiating with one political party in which I am praying that it should not be the PCRN of Kabera Libi, because Kabera Libi is somebody that is having a little wisdom and vision toward Cameroon than Maurice Kamto. And I am here on TFA Talking Point today to talk about it. So if this is your first time joining TFA Talking Point, please subscribe to our channel, follow us on all our social media platforms, and also drop your own comment. Because TFA Talking Point is all about proposing lasting solutions to societal problems. And the Anglophone crisis has been our main problem. And that throughout this period, we have been focusing on and proposing lasting solutions to it, starting in 2018. And today we are going to talk about this particular statement published by the Guardian Post in Cameroon, that Maurice Kabera Libi said that only federalism will resolve Anglophone crisis. There is no other way. Because the Anglophone crisis we are talking about started because of the abolition of the federal system of government by Amadou Ahidjo in 1972. That is when the crisis started. And then the way Amadou Ahidjo took to abolish the federal system was so terrible. And before the abolition in 1972, Southern Cameroonians were already being treated like second-class citizens. And President Paul Biya came, inherited the atrocity of Amadou Ahidjo, and continued with the maltreatment upon the people of Southern Cameroon. And he was doing it in a very technical way, killing many Southern Cameroonians. And before we open our eyes, we already deep into it, because President Paul Biya wanted to harmonize everything in Cameroon in order to make one Cameroon, the kind of Cameroon or the kind of country that is nowhere in the world, because he wanted to harmonize the French system with the English system and to form a kind of system that I never knew, because we were already having languages in Cameroon that you cannot explain which kind of language. If you speak it anywhere, nobody will understand you. And that was being done because of the harmonization. And main aim of President Paul Biya was to assimilate the people of Southern Cameroon. And the only way to deal with intelligent people is to bring them down, is to frustrate them. And that was the best way to deal with the people of Southern Cameroon, because this group of people, though small, they are very intelligent. And it's very difficult for somebody to trample upon them. If you look, for example, in 1950s, upward to 1961, you discover that Nigeria struggled by all possible means to trample upon this small group of people, but they did not succeed. Before we came out of frustration because of the United Nations, the British and French with the government of Cameroon to join Cameroon. If left to the people of Southern Cameroon, that even one person supported them, they could have formed their own country. And we talk about it, that federation is the only way to solve these particular problems. And to the Ambazonia, I believe when you hear the word federation, you are disturbed because you are all for separation. And then I'm telling you that federation is better. And through federation, you can stay and one day be your country, be your resources, it's stronghold. And even the military, the police, and then you can stand up one day. When you stand up at that particular point and say you want to separate, it will be very easy. So I'm telling the Ambazonia that it is better for us to sit and go in for federation. Take gradually. When you take small and test is not going, then you can demand for the biggest one. But you first of all have to. Don't just look up. Separation is very big because it needs to recognition from other countries. And then if you deal with federation, in which all other countries are calling for federation, that we should return to this two-state federation. It's federation. If we go there and prove them wrong, that yet we are in, and then the government of Cameroon is still struggling to assimilate us, is still struggling to control us, then they will have the reason to stand behind us. So this is the way, federation. The problem we are having today is because the federal system was abolished. And if the federal system returned, then I believe the problem will be reduced. A return to as it was in 1961, where Southern Cameroon, they were having their own autonomous, everything, power over everything. They decide on everything. They create their own problems and they solve their own problems. Federation in which we will be able to elect our governors. We will be able to elect those that will be ruling us. Even up to the point this issue of the divisional officer will abolish them. There will not be anywhere in Southern Cameroon. We decide what we want. We will be training our own police, having our own financial power, autonomous over our finance, our economies, our politics, our healthcare system, education, and everything, judiciary. And this will help us build the country that we want. That even if we stand and say we want to separate, we will be having something at hand already. Thank you for listening to us who are for federation. That we need a fresh dialogue that will give us the opportunity to talk about federation. That we do not need any precondition dialogue, but the one that will be inclusive, genuine, sincere, and open for everything discussion.